Hello everyone, welcome back. It's the end of June. We've had some very dry days and some rainy days, and you can see a lot of changes in the allotment. So, this is an end of June allotment tour. You can see the allotment looks really full and lush. Thanks to the rain that we had recently, all the flowers are blooming, the calendulas are really doing well. Loads of bees. Apparently not now, but still there I've seen loads of bees around. This is the broccoli. They have suddenly put on a lot of growth once it got a good 1 week's rain. And you can see the head of the broccoli, and you can harvest it now, or you can leave it to get a little bit more big and then harvest it. These are the amaranth leaves. In the last video I showed the colossal pak choi failure that did not grow at all, so that I replaced it with the leaves. This is kohlrabi. I've covered it to protect it from pigeons, the one of the nemesis of the allotment. That's black chickpeas and cabbage. They are growing really well, and you can see the squash bed interplanted with Swiss chard and spinach. They are also doing really well. You can see this particular one, it's called Lauki. It's an Indian vegetable that has already started to give me some fruits. The one I don't see a lot of male flowers in this one. There's loads of female flowers, and the fruits are also growing big. Rest of the spinach, interplanted ones, and Swiss chard are all growing. Not so much to pick them, but you can pick the outer leaves if you need to. Coming to this side, this is a nasturtium. It hasn't started to flower. You can consume nasturtium flowers, but I'm using it as a sacrificial plant to catch all the aphids. There's some cosmos there. It was methi before we harvested everything, and I planted it with cosmos. So courgette, I think this is a round courgette. Again, that has got some spinach interplanted. And this is mosh too. It's been decimated by pigeons. The leaves are being decimated by pigeons. Not sure how to cover this because it's a climber. I'm not sure how to cover it. Do let me know in the comments if you think you know of a way to protect the pea plant from pigeons. Occasionally I do get some colorless mosh too among these, like the green one I just showed. The potato bed is really lush. I've de-weeded it recently, so it right now it's just potato plants. And strawberry beds. Strawberries are all finished. Mine is an early strawberry plant, so it's all finished. All the Swiss chard forest I had here, removed it and then planted it with tomatoes. Honeyberry, you can see one honeyberry inside, one blue color. But I like the red stem of this plant. This is the onion shallots bed. I have got two beds with two types of shallot, one golden gourmet and one red sun. One of them is not doing well. I'm not sure which one. When I harvest, I will know. One of the variety is not doing that well, so this side is doing better than the other one. Broad beans, really well. I'm very happy with it. They are not ready to pick yet because when you press the pod, you should feel firmness of the bean. Right now, it feels hollow, so you can't pick them right now. You can pick them and you can eat them, but it's a complete waste because the beans have not grown fully. So see, it's quite squishy there. You will feel the hollowness of the bean, of the pod. It had a lot of black fly infestation. I did try to leave it for the ladybirds to eat, but there were far too many and it was affecting the plant. So I sprayed it with, so see, there's a ladybird, and there are loads of ladybird larvae on these plants, but I had to do something about it. So I sprayed some soapy water, and so that's a ladybird larvae. I sprayed some soapy water in the middle just to control the black fly. The African marigolds are doing well, the tomatoes are doing well. So that's an African marigold. I've started to tie my tomatoes because they are starting to lean. So always tie them quite loose so that there is space for the stem to grow in. So I've left that much space inside it. And there are some French marigolds and parsley interplanted as companion plants. And then there's a nasturtium there again as a sacrificial plant. There are carrots in the center. They're just sprouting. I don't know whether you can see them on the camera, but they're just sprouting. This bed is full of Brussels sprouts interplanted with potatoes. So I'm mounting the Brussels sprouts as and when it's growing, because they will start to lean to a side and I don't have a lot of strong support sticks to hold them, or supports to hold them. This is inside the greenhouse. The growth difference of the tomatoes from outside to inside the greenhouse is very different. So the inside ones have started to flower, whereas the outside ones are still tiny and growing. The basil, best. Oh, there's a weed inside. The basil is the best one in so far for me. I've harvested so much of basil. Really smelling ones, tasty as well. I'm using it in sandwiches, salads. So the way to harvest basil is to look for the second node of the leaf. So in this case, in this stem, this is the first, and then as you work your way down, you can see the second node. So that's the second node of the stem. So I would pinch there so that the plant can grow bushier. So on this stem, you can see that's my pinch mark. And then from there, 2 more stems have come up. So it becomes more and more bushier as you harvest. So you can harvest those leaves. So don't just pick the leaves, you pinch from the stems. So these are all pinched recently. Yesterday I pinched those. I'm very happy with the basil. In fact, all the tomatoes are really doing really well, and that strip completely is chilies, and these are aubergines. I don't know whether I should pinch the side shoots of aubergines, but I might not. I might and I might not. These are some self-sown peas, so I have given them some support there. And this is an Indian snow pea. I've already harvested 3 to 4 snow peas. They're quite tasty. And this is an experiment sweet potato, and that also has changed in sudden growth spurt in the month of June. It didn't do much in May. This is sweet corns, Malabar spinach, and this is uchiki curry. I think it's a winter squash. So there are a couple of them coming. I was hoping it would be a climber, means it would trail, so I could make it climb onto the support. And these are the sweet corns planted with some climbing beans. And this is a pumpkin. I'm not sure what color of pumpkin it is. It's so muddy. I had to move it onto this wooden stake because of the rain. All the mud was on the plant. All that side is, there's pumpkins on the edge. In the middle is baby corn, and interplanted with some more climbing beans. And there's another pumpkin there. So there's a lot of growth during this month. Now I'm going to show you what to do before you have rain forecast. So if you have noticed your soil caking up, okay, first remove all the weeds. Remove all the weeds that you can. Make sure you use some kind of tool. So I use this tool to actually loosen up the soil. So I just do this around my plant. So it loosens the top layer of the soil. And what it does is, when your ground has caked, so caking means that it has become hard and it has got split marks. And when it rains, that's a caking example. So it's hard and then it's split on the top. So the rain would just bounce off and it would run off the surface of the soil. So in order to make maximum penetration of water into the soil, just loosen up the top layer. So you can get various types of this type of a tool. I have, this is a handheld one. You can get one with longer stick as well, longer handle as well. So, and I just rake on the top of the soil to loosen up the top layer, and which will help you to loosen up some of the roots of the weeds, as well as it will loosen up the top layer of the soil. When the rain starts to fall, the water has more chance of penetrating the soil rather than running off. So all the beds, I have done it because I have a forecast of rain for the next 1 week. So there's more caking over there. My forecast is, for the forecast for the area I'm in is rain for the next 1 whole week. So I want maximum penetration. So for the last 2-3 days, I've been doing this loosening up of the layer, loosening up of the soil throughout the area. So there I have done all of that. I have done loosening up, including the beetroot bed, the tomato bed, all the beds. I have raked the top layer of the soil to loosen it up. So once the rain has finished, then come back and then start pulling the weeds, which from a rain, as you can see, all the plants have a growth spurt, so does all the weeds. And at that point, if you leave it there, then it will become really difficult for you to start picking them, because their roots will become strong. So as soon as the rain has stopped, so you can see the potato bed is very clean because I just de-weeded. We had a week's rain. I de-weeded it today, and now in a week's rain another set of weeds would come, because birds are always carrying seeds, so they will start to sprout again. So it's a continuous circle of work. So you keep pulling the weeds, so these kinds of weeds will come up, and you keep pulling the weeds with the roots. Try as much as possible with the roots, because it's a potato bed. I'm not going to put my spade in to get or my fork in to get the root out. And then try and keep the rhythm. So before a rain, pull the weeds out and loosen the soil, and after the rain, again pull the weeds out. One of the other major tasks for today is to take out this is celery plant. Take out all the celery plant, and then replant it with new set. These celery plants were planted in last July, and I've been harvesting them since. Maybe up to a week back I've harvested them. So now they have all gone into seed, and there's no point keeping them. So I'll remove all of them. So I've removed all of them. Magic of the camera. And I've dug holes. So I've dug it in a zigzag form. So the second row will be staggered, which will give more space for the plant to grow, more utilization of space as the plant grows, and blocking of the light for the roots. And then I just plunk my seedlings in and firm the soil up around it. It's as easy as it is. So this is a good seedling, but it is a bit root bound. But just put it in the soil and in the hole, and then put back the soil in and firm it in. That's it. It's as easy as that is. And this will give me a harvest for the next couple of months. All I'm doing, because I have already planted celery on this plot the previous year, I'm going to top dress it with some seaweed powder and some organic chicken manure pellets. So this will give it some more. I had 6 plants left over, so I planted it in the only space I had, which is with cauliflower. So there you go. End of June, very busy month. Deadheading, de-weeding. There's rain in this. I can see really thick clouds in the sky. I hope it rains. I've been harvesting lettuces, spinach, and loads more this month. Hope you enjoyed this video. A little tour of how the allotment has changed over a couple of weeks with the rain. Stay safe and see you soon with another one.